Hello everyone, this is our 2019 Audi RS3 with 26,316 miles. Daytona gray pearl with the black optics package. Looks really nice. Automatic headlights, front parking sensors, magnetic variable suspension dampening, variable valved exhaust. Has all kinds of really cool features that I'm excited to show you guys. Cosmetically speaking, here in the front, it has just a few rock chips down towards the very bottom edge. If you look at pretty much any RS3, it's gonna have rock chips on the front. It's just due to the angles of the front. It's kind of a rock chip magnet, unfortunately. Down here, I think on the driver's side, it's a little more prominent. But it's just really on the very bottom edge. It's not super noticeable, but it is there. The front grille looks fantastic. And the very front portion of the hood has just a few very small rock chips, very negligible, but the rest of the hood is unscathed. Looking at the front driver's side fender, that's in really good shape, no flaws there. Front driver's side wheel looks excellent. These are TSW paddock wheels in 18 by 9.5, and they have brand new Michelin Pilot Sport All Season 4s. They are 245 40/18s, ride really smooth, and they handle great in inclement weather. Driver's side mirror, couple small rock chips, but overall looks good. Front driver's side door, very small scratch down there. Rear driver's side door looks good, no issues. Rear driver's side wheel looks great, and this is a square setup, by the way, so it does have the same size front and rear. Also, it does have a stud conversion. Does not have wheel bolts anymore. It does have actual wheel studs with lug nuts that go over it. Driver's side rear quarter panel looks flawless. If you look at the paint here where the sun is shining on it, you can see the incredible amount of metallic flake that's in it and just how much contrast is in this paint as well. So you can tell it looks super bright right here, and then it kind of fades off darker. It really accentuates the body lines, and I think is a phenomenal color on this car. Looking at the back bumper, dual exit exhaust, does have a black diffuser on there that is factory. Black trunk lip. No flaws in the rear of the car. Looks good. Passenger side rear quarter panel. No issues. Rear passenger wheel. No marks. The wheels and tires were installed February of this year and are like new. Tires still have a ton of life left in them, being just barely 6 months old. Rear passenger door looks great. Front passenger door does not have any flaws either. Passenger mirror, a few very, very small rock chips, but definitely negligible. The front passenger fender looks good. Does just have one very tiny scratch there, and that is it. And the front passenger wheel has a few small nicks in the wheel. Not very noticeable at all. You really got to look for it. But overall looks really good. And the front brake pads were replaced about a month ago. Fresh front brakes. So I will go ahead and walk around the vehicle from a 1 foot distance to give you a better big picture idea of the overall condition of the vehicle. Here at Exotic Motorsports, we like to do these comprehensive walk around videos to give our out-of-state buyers the confidence and peace of mind they need to purchase a vehicle from us sight unseen if they choose to do so. Walking around a vehicle from a 1 foot distance is a lot more indicative of what you might notice on a day-to-day basis. It helps to separate the larger, more obvious flaws from the smaller, less significant ones, helping to give you a better real world perspective of the overall condition of the vehicle. Overall, this RS3 has been taken very good care of. And is in great condition, optioned very well. It does have keyless entry, so you can just touch the outside of the door handle and it locks. Touch the inside and it unlocks. It's just touch sensitive. There's not a button or anything you have to press. It does have Alcantara interior, so the center section of the door right here is Alcantara, and then it does have carbon fiber accents as well. Has blind spot warning, heated power folding side view mirrors, auto dimming as well, one touch windows for all 4 doors, Bang & Olufsen premium audio. It does have Audi puddle lights. When it's dark out, it will have the 4-ring logo and say Audi Sport on the ground. Illuminated RS3 door sills, RS3 all-weather floor mats, black leather heated red diamond stitched seats. Gotta love the RS interior, looks really nice. And this car is super easy to get in and out of. It is lowered on MSS lowering springs, but the seat position is fairly high up, so getting in and out of the car is actually very smooth and very easy. It doesn't sit very low. Push button start. Starts right up. So the wheels and tires do not have tire pressure sensors. There is no TPMS, so that light is flashing to indicate that there is no TPMS synced. You can have those installed and paired if you would like. It was a small oversight on the previous owners. And dual zone automatic climate control. The seats are heated, has a USB type A and a 12-volt plug-in right there. Cup holders up front. And it looks like there's going to be a clearance issue there, but they do still fit larger drinks. The drink kind of sits up against the climate controls there, but it does fit. Shifter for the dual clutch 7-speed transmission. You've got your infotainment controls here in the center, electronic parking brake. Some more of that carbon trim. You can, and for the 2019 model, you can hit the power button for the screen. It'll turn it off, but it will not retract technically because it does have virtual cockpit. This does everything that does. So in 18 and 17, when you hit the power button, the screen would retract, which would kind of give you a similar aesthetic to an R8 where you just have the gauge cluster, but unfortunately in 19 all it does is turn the screen off. You can toggle your parking sensors and then drive select. This is a big one because it does have the Audi Sport exhaust, and it does have the magnetic dampening suspension. When you put it in comfort, it closes the exhaust valves and it softens the suspension dampening, giving you a more of an A3 driving experience. And then when you put it in dynamic, go back to drive select, I also have the start button programmed to go change the drive mode as well, so you can just hit that on the steering wheel. When you go to dynamic, it will open the exhaust valves and tighten the suspension, giving you a more aggressive driving experience. And speaking of valved exhaust, it has a catless ARP downpipe and catless ARP mid pipes. Change the view here. This car has such a phenomenal exhaust note. It sounds amazing. And it also has factory launch control because it has an ARP Stage 2 transmission and ECU tune. You can actually launch this car at 4,000 RPM. So with your foot on the brake and your foot on the gas, and with it in dynamic and sport, traction control off. So you hold the brake down aggressively and then you floor it. Then you'd be able to effectively launch the car doing that. And believe me when I tell you, this thing takes off like a rocket. This car is fast. It makes 510 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. Does have a power sunroof there with a manual shade. frameless auto dimming rearview mirror. These are Urus style paddle shifters. They feel really nice in the hand. The factory ones are cheap plastic. They don't feel good, but these are definitely an upgrade, I would say. Here in the back seats, not a ton of room. It's not a very large vehicle, but it's very comfy. 2 Type A ports in the back with some climate control vents. So with me being 210 pounds and 6'1", I can kind of shimmy my way in here. I'd say if I wasn't going on a real long trip, I'd probably be okay. My knees strategically fit in those seat back cutouts pretty dang well. But again, if I had to be in this car for probably more than 30 minutes, I don't think I'd be too happy. So just to kind of give you an idea of the size of the interior and the back, I mean, really, it's not too far off of a TTRS, to be perfectly honest. It's not a very big car. It is the 3 Series for Audi, so that is the smallest sedan they make, if I'm not mistaken. And here in the engine bay, we can see some of the goodies. It does have a carbon fiber APR intake. It has the APR turbo inlet. You can kind of see it right there, that metal piece that the intake is connected to. We've got the 034 Motorsports DSG catch can. So the original vent line coming from the transmission is known to spew transmission fluid when you drive it aggressively. So this will catch all the fluid and return it to the transmission to keep your engine bay clean and to keep your transmission healthy. It also has the downpipe and mid-pipe that I mentioned, as well as an upgraded APR intercooler. Due to the design of the front end, it's really difficult to see it. This car is definitely a sleeper. Nobody suspects that it's as fast as it is, especially having a dual clutch transmission and a Haldex all-wheel drive system. This car is a monster. Tuned on 91, it gets in the 30s miles per gallon on the freeway. It makes a ton of power. It handles great. It sounds incredible. It sounds kind of similar to the 5.2 in the Gallardo and in the R8. When you're up in the RPM band, it sounds phenomenal and it looks aggressive, but it's still very practical. So this is truly like a no compromise, fun enthusiast car. When I say fun, I mean I really can't put it into words without you actually driving it. So that is our 2019 Audi RS3. If you have any further questions, please feel free to check out this car on our website at exoticmotorsportsok.com. Thank you for watching.